Good evening, everybody. I hope it's a bit warmer and drier where you are tonight than what it was last week. I was absolutely frozen the time I finished. I'm not sure whether my feet were on the end of my leg or where they were. It was really cold, so sorry if I rushed off a bit last week, but I needed to go and thaw out. So, what have we got tonight? Who have we got tonight? Lurking in the background, and I can assure you that he's fully dressed because I can see him, is our young Brian, the horse whisperer.
Evening, guys. How are you doing?
He's going to be hopefully keeping me informed as what's going on in the chat.
I'll do my best.
And throwing up one or two little links as we come through. So I'll dump him in the background for a minute. I'll bring the camera on to the bit of wood that we're going to be attacking tonight. You can't quite see it, but it does say ash on there. And you can just about see it. And it does tell me that it's 11.5 by 1. But the biggest issue is, let me grab the rule, across the width there is an 8mm dip. So across the back of it there's an 8mm rise. So that should present an interesting challenge tonight. The intention is to turn a plate. Can't quite see it, but just there, yes you can, I'll get it there. Just there is a bit of a dead knot, so I'm not sure whether that's going to be in the rim or actually in the wall of the bowl as I come down the plate. So I've only got an inch to play with, so I've got to try and work something. I'm going to put a mortise on this side when I've got it level. So I think it's a wish me luck situation tonight. It's bone dry, which is why it's warped. The outside is out by about 10mm, so it's not even true round. So let's run over there, run up there, put some safety glasses on, and don't breathe on the glasses because you fog them up. Hold your breath while you put your glasses on. Right, I'm ready to go, so I'll leave you in Brian's capable hands. He can read out who's in. I've changed my lighting around a bit this week and camera positions. Let me know through Brian if you need a better position. I think that one's going to work quite well. I can also, let me tell you what else we've got. I've just updated the computer, so it's repositioned all of the cameras, renumbered them all.
So now you're confused.
I am totally confused.
I did that, so, and yep. It's,
I think that might be a better one to start with, the above one. You can see.
It's overhead, yep. That's good.
Yeah, I'm going to be working down here. So
that should be okay. We can see the tool head okay, or the point of the tool okay.
So starting up fairly slow, increasing the volume until I feel safe. You don't want to go too fast. It is on a faceplate ring on dovetail jaws on A jaws from accident stuff. So my normal method is
so what size did you say this piece was, Keith?
It's 11.5 by
11.5, right?
9 inches. So my normal method is to use the side wing so it doesn't give it too much of a handle.
So I'm just going to go ahead and while you're starting to flatten out, I'll read out to see who's in the chat. Let's see who we've got. I'll read off the participants panel. So we have got Andy H is for turning. Welcome, Andy. We have Barry Chitty, Barry's wood turning, and Benjamin. Welcome, you three guys. Chris, the spinning wood dodger, is in, as is Colin Izzard, Doug Miller at Woodspun Round, Doug Mungham, Duncan the Demon Barber is in. Hope he's had his haircut today. Jared the French Turner, all the way from Cork. Our good friend Hodgepodge Woodworks is in. With his beaver, I hope. James Cassidy and Lars Badia are in. Mike the Hobby Wood Turner from Ilminster. Nick Castle, sorry. There's only one of you, not Castles. No plural. Pat Cummings, Paul Smith, our good friend Baz from Real Simple Things, Steve Jobbins, and the Linnykins is in. Welcome to Linnykins.
Yeah.
So that's all I have on the participants panel. If there's anybody missed off of that, you need to be blaming YouTube. And I'll try and catch anybody else who comes in. Welcome, everybody.
This isn't cutting that easy. Go back to the conventional.
It looks extremely hard. If I've missed anybody, just give me a little shout in the chat and I'll call your name out.
I'm looking at it, I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Oh, Malcolm Douglas, I apologise, Malcolm, for missing you. I think this is a very special welcome, Malcolm. And Real Simple Things, did I miss you too? No, I see you. Don't give me any of that. Hi, Adam from... why does my chat keep jumping? Adam from I Love Wood Turning is in.
Well, hi,
says, Adam says, don't finish too quick, Keith. I'm off for a Chinese takeaway. But I'll watch it while I'm eating.
You can watch it while you're eating. You can also watch it on replay as well. Because it will be up later on. Or tomorrow. Well, that's a very nice finish I'm getting off of the chisel on some of it.
Dave B has joined us.
Who was that, Dave?
Dave B.
Right.
Good afternoon, all. Keith and Brian. Enjoyed your show earlier today. Thank you.
Well done. Yes, it was a good one. I've said that to Brian just now.
James Crawford is in, the Hobby Wood Turner from Fife. A fellow Scot.
I can't afford to take message that possibly.
So Duncan the Demon Barber is saying, I'm struggling to hear Keith, the sound is very muffled. I'm having a little bit of difficulty too, hearing you over the noise of the tool on the piece of wood.
Okay, is that any better?
That sounds okay there, but
right.
we'll tell when you...
yeah, I've not changed any settings.
We just seem to be getting a lot of background noise off the tool there for some reason.
Let me go and have a look. Because I did an upgrade on the computer, and it's reset all the tools, all the cameras.
Yep, the Linnekin has said, Brian, can you ask the old man to move his mic? And for those of you who don't know, the Linnekins is the daughter, just in case you... You do seem to be a bit muffled, Keith, to be honest.
Yeah, I can tell you for why. It's reset it to one of the cameras,
Ah,
which is
so get it back on that nice Jabra headset you have, and we'll be fine again.
yeah. Just got to find it.
So what does that sound like?
There we go. That's much better. We're cooking with gas now.
Good. Right.
Super job. Thanks, guys, for pointing that out to us that we were having a bit of trouble.
I wouldn't know because I'm just talking exactly the same and I can hear okay, but it was obviously
I could
was an
hear
issue
you okay until you
beforehand.
started to turn. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it wasn't cutting it out. So that
Steve,
was
Steve Jobbins just pointed out you're connected to a camera. Much better now. Maybe Woodshed's in. There we go. Get some nice comments now. All good. Much better. Thank you.
good. Well done, guys.
So we're good now.
Apologies for that, but computer decided it wanted to do an upgrade this afternoon. I suppose that's better than waiting till we were actually live.
And Mark, yeah,
we've done that before now.
Yeah, Mark, the gentleman woodturner, has arrived.
Hello, Mark.
Hi everyone. He says.
This is exceptionally hard.
Steve Jobbins has just made a comment. Preferred it when I had no idea what he was saying. I think Steve could go to the corner. We have 47 watching, Keith.
Well done, guys. I've got 46 showing on the
it's
on
just changed to
StreamYard.
46, yeah. It's just changed to 46 on YouTube as well now.
Right.
Mo Valley Maker has just joined us. Welcome, Mo.
Hiya, Mo. That's Dave, isn't it? From Mo Valley.
I can't remember Mo Valley's first name, to be honest.
I think it's Dave, but
I should know these guys' names by now.
Well, I can't remember them.
Yeah, I think it should be mandatory that everybody has to put their first name as part of their title or their channel name.
They'll all be putting up Sir. Yeah. You know what they're like.
Mo Valley says yes, Keith.
Good.
So Dave it is. That might be an only fools and horses thing, is it? No. All right, Dave. Thank you for that reminder, Lawrence. Lawrence is reminding people, don't forget the thumbs up.
Yes, and also turn the extractor on. I
had better press the like as well, I suppose. There we go.
Right. I preset the dividers. Where are they? Over there. Why is it the camera works back to front and that's it. I preset the dividers for the mortise I'm going to put in the bottom. Now I'm going to have to be very careful because I don't want a deep mortise. As I'm only starting off with 1 inch of wood.
We definitely don't want an SKF when you get to the other side.
No, for the Europeans in here, that's 25mm.
Wood Wizardry by Colin is in.
Hello, Colin.
Duncan and Deemer Barber is asking, what difference do thumbs up make, please? I have never understood YouTube. Basically, I think the thumbs up allows the algorithm that YouTube use to let them know what people like. And if you like what Keith's doing, if you give him a thumbs up, YouTube will recommend more of the same sort of thing to you. That's the idea with the thumbs up, I think.
Yeah,
That's
even
maybe-
if you give me a thumbs down, it's still a hit on the channel, and it doesn't make any difference to YouTube whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It just means the channel has been someone's using it.
Yeah,
Right.
someone's interacting with your channel, basically.
Yeah, my homemade dovetail scraper.
Yeah,
Why
Mark
can't I
explained it
get-
much.
Yeah, why can't I get it close? You can just about see it there, the top view, and that's the bottom view. It's homemade out of a 5/8 wood chisel. That just gives me, with a little pull cut, the right angle for the jaws. Look at that, I've even put them away. So I was going to show you the angle. Oh, might have,
So,
have I?
thank you,
No, I
Duncan, for giving us a thumbs up there. That's excellent.
On a completely different jaw, but it's an Axminster jaw, the angle I've ground is the actual angle of the taper, about
All right.
15 degrees. You can use a skew, but the skew needs to be ground at the right angle. So it's not always a straightforward one. I can also use this as a scraper just to ease the bottom into something that resembles a flattish surface. And if it gets aggressive, I can tip it on its side.
Door 60 has just joined us. Welcome, Door.
Door. Now, I can't give you Door's name.
No, me neither. Benjamin thinks he's pretty sure that YouTube figures out stuff by the watch times, not thumbs up and down. Well, it must be.
I think apparently it's both.
Yeah, the whole thing will be every interaction with a channel will be logged in some way. If you look in the analytics, there's a lot more information in there.
Right, that's the
There we go.
mortise cut.
Yeah. Mark explained that a little bit about the thumbs up there as well. Apparently YouTube doesn't take any notice of watch time. It watches interactions for channels this small. So maybe watch times is for channels over 1,000 subscribers, that kind of thing. Nobody really understands, I don't think.
I'm not sure whether YouTube does.
Well, I hope they do, but certainly it's beyond me a little bit. I'm only an earworm, guys, not a tech wizard. Yeah, Adam has Adam's understanding is the main algorithm is watch time based on more watch time than higher ranking. Based on the more watch time, the higher the ranking you get.
Right.
Okay.
So the noise, if you can hear it, is the wood flexing.
Yep.
As I'm trying to turn it. Let's see what we've got.
So we have a little question here from Mike. Yeah, Mike, you, the hobby wood turner from Ilminster. Question, Keith, has anyone ever looked at the sound insulation material or jackets for dust extraction units?
The best sound insulation you can get is to park it next door in the shed or the garage. I've got mine running now, and I'm assuming you guys can't hear it.
We can't hear it. We can't hear it at all.
No, that's a big, was it 115 litre, 2-horse motor on it roaring away. But if you can't hear it, that's because it's
we can't hear it because
through
you're
the hose and next door.
Yeah, but you're using a really good sound suppressing headset as well.
Yes,
I think I know what he means.
Yeah,
you know, I've mine's is in next door as well. I have a small dust extraction unit
Hmm.
and compressor which I built in next door. I have got some king span insulation, 2 inches
Yeah,
thick, that
yeah.
I'm
Well,
going to build a little cabinet out round it and see will that make any difference.
I've got this. I've got the same, but my king span is rectanel, which is what
Yeah.
I've put over the ceiling. So
So I'm going
I
to try and
don't.
build a little cage for mine and see how it works.
I don't think I can go much deeper. It's not a very good finish on there. I'm going to see if I can gently scrape that because it's flexing too much on the tool. So I've got a freshly sharpened negative rake round scraper just to see. I don't normally use a scraper. But, I think we've got to use something on this just to give me a chance on sanding. This side edge is flexing so much. But that is a better finish. I can see that. I can feel the bounce of it. All I can hear is Brian laughing in my ear.
Yeah, Ian Leonard has just put a comment on here. He says, I would put my extractor in the garage next door, but my neighbours wouldn't be very happy. It's their garage.
Yeah. I knew he was coming up with that one.
Yeah.
Could read that a mile off.
Yeah, very good.
Right. I think I'm happy with that finish off the tool.
Good. Just
Well,
kind of
not really.
try and draw a line under the extractor and noise issues in your sheds. Most people who have smaller sheds kind of struggle with noise. It's a
Yeah.
really difficult problem to solve, I think. Manufacturers need to try and take that more into account and make things quieter.
If you're building your workshop, or you've got an empty shed that you're converting to a workshop, the worst thing you can, or the best thing you can do, is actually put some mineral wool insulation in the walls and clad the inside. 2 reasons for that. It will help keep it a bit warmer in the walls, and it will make the shed a lot stronger. A lot of the problem with sheds that you've just got tongue and groove boarding or boarding on the outside is a strong wind on one end, the whole shed can actually start to lean.
Yeah.
So invest in a little bit more time and money for some OSB chipboard. No, chipboard's not the best thing. OSB is probably the cheapest option you've got for the clad the inside.
That's what I lined inside of my shed with.
Yeah, when I built this one, shuttering ply was very cheap, particularly through the trade. So I've still got tear out just there. So I've used 1/2 inch ply on the inside, and stuffed it with insulation. Now I've only got, I think it's 32mm bearers for the
Yep.
wall, which is normally the sort of the industrial standard on sheds. So it does make a hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah, it just connects everything together.
It stops it racking, which is twisting from end to end.
Yeah.
And oh, that's better. I've got rid of it. I can sand out that last little bit.
So James Cassidy has just put in the comment there that the new Camvacs are pretty good, especially when you can connect the. There is an outlet, a small little, I think it's a 2-inch hose that comes out the top of the motor and carries the sound outside.
Yep. Right. Headbutt the monitor.
Good idea.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. See if we can sand this to some sort of semblance.
So we have 54 watching now, Keith.
No, well done, guys. Thank you very much for coming over to show the small man some appreciation.
And you've been going 27 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's a hard piece of wood you're dealing with.
I'm struggling a bit because of the thickness of the wood.
Wood Wizardry, Colin at Wood Wizardry says that's a cool sander.
Angle grinder, angle drill.
And just a right angle drill.
Yeah, with a 3-inch pad on. Well, it's not that one, it's this one. That's why I've been showing everything to the wrong camera. No one's told me.
Well,
that's why nothing was showing up.
Well, it kind of was okay here. I was seeing what you were pointing. I don't know what camera you were looking at.
Well, I thought I'd got myself on one at the back there.
Okay. No, you're on the overhead.
This is quite pink for ash, but quite pretty.
I noticed I had a piece of ash the other day that had a kind of a flush of pink through it.
Yeah. But this is bone dry. So that was 80, going on to 120 grit now.
John Matthews has just joined. Hello from New York. Just started wood turning.
The other side of the pond.
Yeah. Did my first bowl last weekend. Pretty excited. I was able to do it. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. You're entirely welcome, John. Keith is just trying to share his lifetime of knowledge with everybody who wants to watch.
I'm only an amateur, and I might be a slightly more proficient amateur than some. None of us on here are professionals that do any of this work. Right, so now we're on to 240. See what that looks like. Oh, I'm quite impressed with that. But I've got to say that, haven't I?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to hope you're impressed with it.
Well, considering what fight it's put up.
It's been pretty easy for me, I have to say.
Yeah. Right, shellac sanding sealer. watered down, but thinned down,
And
about 40% of meths against 60% of the sanding sealer. So what that's doing is that's going to, as I've laid it on there quite thick, when I wipe that in just a second,
so
if there's
Steve
any
Jobbins,
dust on there, that will pick up on the paper now. There is a
so
little bit of dust on there. You can just see a little bit of colour come off. But,
Steve Jobbins has just invited David to come and join him in the corner. I was kind of giving David the chance on his first visit not to go in the corner, Steve. And you can come out of the corner now, Steve. You're okay.
yeah, but you might have to put something in the charity box. So, right now, while that's drying,
Greg Alexander has joined. Good afternoon, he says.
Right.
Where is Greg from? When he's saying good afternoon.
Where did I put the mouse? Come on, guys. I've lost the mouse now. Losing the plot.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, Keith.
Yeah, I know.
Plot was lost.
It can't be that far away. Did I put it down? Oh, I left it down the other end when I played with the computer.
There you go. When you fixed your microphone.
Yeah. Right. So. Right.
Oh, Greg Alexander's all the way from Kentucky. Welcome, Greg.
On face, which is 4. So let's find camera 4. Come on, mouse, work.
You're going to have to show us what that book is now.
I am. That's why I'm going to change cameras. Right.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. This is up for sale. I've got one. Keith Rowley's Wood Turning Projects. New, it was £16. I'm selling it for a wood turner that is no longer with us, but it going to his wife's or his estate through his wife. I've got it up for sale for £8 plus postage. So it's first come, first served. It, in theory, is brand new. There's no marks on it at all. There's no missing pages. It is in very good condition. So if anyone wants that, put it in the chat. Brian will write your name down so that we know who it is. That's Keith Rowley's. It's an English publication. It's from the... Bear with me. Guild of Master Craftsmen, which is down in Lewis, down on the south coast. If you miss it and you want a copy of it, it is the ISBN number, which is what you would probably want, is 186-108-0131. And that's
Gerard
not bad.
Gerard the French Turner's asked, will you post to Ireland?
Yeah, I'll post it to anywhere. It's going to cost you for the postage.
So Gerard was the first to ask about it, and Doug Miller at Woodspan Round says, I'll take it, Keith. So we'll just have to...
Well, like I say, guys, I've only got the one, so it's first come, first served. If Gerard come up first, I'm sorry, Doug, or whoever it was.
Yep, Gerard and Doug. Gerard asked, can you post it to Ireland? So I assume he wants to buy it.
Yeah, I can ship it to Ireland. I can ship it to Ireland, right. Number 2.
Gerard, just put Gerard's name on it. He's just replied in chat there. Yes, if you can ship to Ireland, I will take it.
Yeah, your name's inside. Message me later, Gerard, and we'll sort out payment. Do it by bank transfer. Second book, not quite so pristine condition. It's been used, but it's still in bloody good condition. All the corners are still square. Wood Turning, a Foundation Course by Keith Rowley, an excellent teacher. This one again is £15 new because the ticket's on the back, and the lady wants £8 plus postage for it. So exactly the same. First come, first served.
I'm nearly tempted to buy that one myself, but I'll leave it home to the chat.
So if anyone's
Anybody wants
interested
it?
in that one, if anyone wants the details, the ISBN number is 09468 19203. That is an international number that will come up if in any library. If you go in there and say, can you order me this, can you find me this, can I have a look at that, that will come up on their computer. So that one's up for grabs.
There's a few people have said that it's a great book.
It is, and Keith Rowley is one of the best teachers that you could have for beginners and explaining things, apart from myself. Who said that? Right.
That's your own trumpet being blown there.
Gerard said he wants it too. Okay,
Yeah,
Gerard?
yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yes.
so that's got your name on it. And
Yeah, I
the
was on a
third one,
spending spree.
yeah, the third one, Small and Miniature Turning, a Complete Guide.
Oh, that's for Rob. That's for Rob CB. That.
Ron Hampton. Again, pristine condition. I don't think it's been opened, or if it's been opened, it hasn't hardly been looked at. And I think that was the same price, £15 new, £16 new. That's got £8 on it as well. That's got projects. It's so new that it's not even been folded back. There's a lathe inside, miniature lathe, a spinning wheel, small hollow forms. I can go down I read the list out, it's easier. Classic ballpoint pen, turquoise tulip wood vase, metal foil bowl with stand, lidded box with finial, alabaster angel, ultra small turnings, pedestal table, miniature lathe, spinning wheel. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 projects in that book for £8 plus postage.
Okay, if nobody wants to jump in on that one, I'm going to have that one, Keith.
Right, let's put your name in the front, Brian,
Yeah,
and I can
you
remember. So that's all to Ireland at the moment.
Yep.
Right.
North and south.
No, these two aren't for sale. But if anyone's looking for a birthday or a Christmas present, the good old Bert Marsh. Excellent book. It's just called Bert Marsh Woodturner. It shows 95%, trust me to open it at a page where there's no pictures, of his turnings and describes them all. This is one that Wayne uses quite a bit, Wayne the Woodturner, to get his designs and shapes from. You'll recognise some of the forms and the shapes in there. Boxes, little split top, natural edge form, but an excellent book. Basic. It's all Bert Marsh. That's one of his sort of classic styles of Bert Marsh. I actually saw this lot when it was over in England here. He did a one-man show in a gallery up in Hereford.
So Gerard wants to know how he can contact you, Keith.
So
you can do it through Facebook Messenger.
Yep. Circular Wood by Keith or Keith Greenfield. You all probably recognise that one as a Wayne take on Burt Marsh. So if anyone's interested in this book, hope you.
It's available on Amazon currently
Yeah,
for £11.99 plus postage.
I actually got it signed.
But that one's not. You're not selling that one, Keith.
That one I'm not selling. No,
No.
that one was for me. I bought that as a birthday present to myself. And
so that
just
one
so
is
that
available on Amazon. I've just looked it up. £11.90 plus £2.80 delivery. If anybody's interested in that one.
And the other one that I'm not selling.
Sorry, Keith. Before you go on, Pat Cummings says, "Can you give us the ISBN number for the miniature turning book?"
Again, can't you write these down quick enough, Pat?
Yes,
Come
please.
on. Right. Got your pens ready? It's 186 108 384 X. And this was a 205 GMC publication. So if you look up GMC publications, which is Lewis in England, down on the south coast, you will possibly find it down there. But again, a good little book. So the last one I'm pushing tonight, Wood Turning, A Fresh Approach by Robert Chapman. And David Ellsworth has done the foreword in there. It just goes through various forms. You look at that one, Wayne quite often does that style. He quite often does, wrong hand, this style. I haven't seen him do this one, but I've actually got a club member that's done that. Come up well. So again, this is for those that are looking at where do I get the wood from. There is a crotch. I keep forgetting it's back to front. Crotch on a branch with various bits poking out the side. So there's a burr there. It shows you how you can cut the branch to get the various configurations of figure. That's just one part that I've opened up to. It's full of illustrations.
That's a much more expensive book. It's on Amazon currently for £31.25.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not
but
surprised.
If you just Google the name of that book, guys, Wood Turning, A Fresh Approach, by Robert Chapman, there are lots of other places that are selling it for much cheaper than Amazon.
And I even got this one signed. So that's why I'm not letting those go. But if anyone's interested in the ISBN number for that one, where is it? Again, it's a Gilder Master Craftsman down in Lewis. So many bloody numbers. ISBN right down the bottom. 186 108 1197.
The Linnekins just gave away your secret, by the way.
What's that?
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
I know. A mere 71 tomorrow.
Another year older and deeper in debt.
Well, maybe not so deeper in debt. No, right. That's dry now. So what do we do next? We change the camera back to so that you guys can see.
That last book we just looked at there, the Wood Turning, A Fresh Approach, I've just found one for £6.50 from biblio.co.uk. So if you just Google it, guys, there's plenty out there at less than £31 from Amazon. So Amazon may not be your first choice.
Come on, wake up. That's it. Right. Back to turning. Back to the handing.
What have I just done?
Don't know. Right. So Yorkshire grit. Brian's not singing.
Oh,
If Joe's in the chat, she can sing.
Joe's not in the chat, so I'm going to have to
No.
sing.
No, don't worry, mate. Don't scare us all.
Thank God.
Thanks, Barry Chitty. Happy birthday from club member.
Steve Jobin says, 71? Geez, you had a tough paper round.
Yeah. That's one thing I never did, a paper round.
I
Not
was a
as
paper
such.
boy. I was a paper boy and a milk boy. Did a milk round as well. That was a torture.
I didn't do anything like that, but I did have one of the biggest paper rounds in West Sussex because I did one time work for a wholesaler.
The Welsh wizard,
Mhm.
Terry from TJ Turning, has said, "Hi everyone. I'm not late. I've been here since the start, but couldn't chat." Are we believing that, or are we sending him
No.
to the corner?
No, don't believe that. He's Welsh.
Somebody told me that Welshman has difficulty reading the truth. Is there any truth in that? I don't know.
Someone told me just to be careful of them because they like sheep.
Careful.
Yeah.
We're not past the watershed.
No, they like sheep, and the Irish go for horses, which is why I've got young Brian.
I think you need to be extremely careful now because I have a spanner.
Right.
Real
Rub
Simple
this
Thing
in.
says, "Happy 70th birthday for tomorrow, Barry. You're wrong. 71 tomorrow. He's older than you thought."
71 tomorrow. Yeah. I'm wearing well. Barry's a bit older than me.
Adam from My Love Wood Turning says, "World of Books. Check them out if you're searching for wood turning.
Right.
You will buy many." Smiley face. World of Books, that is, guys. So have a look at that.
I've rubbed that in at a fairly low speed, and you can tell by the noise that the grit is now not making that the grit has done its business. So I've upped the volume a bit. Go up again, and also change direction to the normal way. I got a tendency when I can to work it in both in forward and reverse.
Lawrence Majias just wish you a happy birthday, Keith, in advance. Have a wonderful day with all your family, if that's possible in these days.
Yeah, only got the wife. Daughter's away from home now.
Daughter has flown the nest.
Yeah, all got thrown out. Which was it? No, she flew. She flew.
She flew off the end of my boot, she says.
I'm looking to get a clean bit of paper with no sign of any residue coming off, and then I know that we've got rid of all of the active ingredients in the Yorkshire grit, the wax, the oils, the lubricants.
James Cassidy has just looked up the World of Books, and he says, "Adam, you're right. I might be buying a few."
Well, those that I've put up for sale tonight and those last two, I can highly recommend. The same as the classic forms that we looked at last week.
That we sold out of Amazon. We managed to make Amazon sell out of them.
Yeah. Right. So that's quite happy with that. Actually quite a nice sheen on that. So let that cool down a bit.
Was that a skew you used?
That was a screwdriver.
To open a skew to open that tin. A screwdriver.
That was a traditional
that's Mark
screwdriver.
That does that. He uses a skew to open tins.
Yeah. So Microcrystalline. Showing it to the right camera now. Does make a lot of difference, you know.
Indeed.
Not
Perfect.
a lot you want on here, but you want to rub it in. A little goes a long way. It's always worth putting another coat on after it's been indoors for 24, 48 hours. The wood's acclimatised to the house.
Do you have a buffing wheel system, Keith?
I have a buffing wheel, but not the system. I have a homemade one.
All right.
It works for me.
Perfect.
I don't always use it. I use it a lot on resins and small stuff. I find it exceptionally useful for the cord pulls and the pens. The wooden pens that I coat in CA, I buff them up and I get an exceptionally good finish on them. And the same with the cord pulls. And the finish that I can get through that lasts for years. So
I was
much pressure.
Yep. So I was contemplating buying the dome shaped one for doing the inside of bowls.
You can I've got the bristle one.
There's a toilet brush there.
I find that quite good for wax.
Okay.
Gets quite a good finish. That's mounted on a rubbishy old chuck, but I can just grip that into most of my jaws without too much aggravation. Right, that's now finished. That bit.
You can see the pink showing through on that now.
Yes, yeah. Yes, that was the knot that I was a little bit concerned about, but we've gone for that. Open. Right.
Excuse me.
Normal procedure. If I've done it deep enough, I might even have to recut this because there's not enough there. I've been a bit frugal on the mortise.
It's too shallow.
Yeah, it's not going to be safe enough, not for something this size. No. Yeah, it's still running true. No. Just going to go straight in there with my little scraper and just deepen that a fraction. I should have checked it before, but once I was sanding it, I was thinking that's not as deep as it should be.
Did the correct thing by remounting it and making it a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Many's one would have tried to put it on and it maybe flew off then.
Well, that's always the concern. And ironically, I haven't taken much off. Probably less than a mil. But the whiskers coming off make it look a lot more than it actually is. About 2.5 mil. So just put that as a skew angle and just finely scrape the edge. Stop it and see what it looks like. That looks better. Let's try that. These aren't the best set of seed jewels. That's the issue that I have as well.
Benjamin, can you retype that because I'm not sure. Oh, Benjamin says, "Can you show us a close-up of the dovetail tool again, please?"
Yep. That feels better. So before I tighten it right up, I have a tendency just to pull it round a fraction, just to make sure that it's got a good seating in there. And if there's any fur in the recess, it will clean it up. So with the speed right down, well, that's not bad. Right, Ben. It's a 5/8 normal carpenter's chisel. You can just about see the back. Let me put it on something darker. That's a bit easier. So it's ground here at about 15 degrees. There's a bevel on there and a bevel on there. So
just hold it up sideways. Just hold it up sideways, Keith. Just there. You can just see the bevel on the front edge, on the leading edge, and then the bevel on the recessed edge. That's good.
Not the easiest to
no, it's not. But we
show on camera. Yeah, so all I do for sharpening it is just literally rub it up and down the diamond stone on the face. I don't attempt to do anything to the two bevels.
So Douglas Munlam has asked, when grinding that, how do you keep the temper?
Don't press too hard.
Yeah, grind it slowly.
Yeah, grind it slowly. And as it's carbon steel, you can actually quench it.
Wood Wizardry by Colin says, damn good idea.
And if you want to go further, where did I put it? I had it earlier on. For that same reason, I was going to. Here it is. Put it on the back of the mouse mat again. This one is also ground at about 15 degrees. If
the Flaming Turner has just joined us, he says, howdy all.
Nick. If you get a problem and you've got the centre in, a revolting centre in there, and you've got to reform the inside, I can get in there and recut that, because that's at the right angle for the jaws. So I can just do a slight pull cut on there, recut that, reform it, and I've still got the centre in there for support.
And Richard Fulan has just joined us as well.
Hello, Richard. So that is that one. So that's cut at about a 15 degree pitch. That's then worked out, drawn on there, put a bit of masking tape on, draw it on there, and then grind it to it. Exactly the same on the back. Two bevels, and just sharpen the top. Just touch it up on a diamond. But that's quite useful if you do a lot of 2-point turning.
Steve Joggins has just said the second tool is genius. You can cut a mortise from between centres.
Yeah, exactly. For the late arrivals, this board, this blank, had about an 8mm warp in it, which is why it's quite knocky. Just cutting a bit better now. Shearing cut on the side wing. what that is that's a pull cut. That's a shearing pull cut, but it's cutting it rather than scraping it off.
You can see the nice little wispy shavings coming off there as well, nicely. Reflecting in the light of your tool rest light.
Right. Now we can see what this looks like now. It's just about round. There's a lot to take off there. There's the back of the knot there. So I haven't even bothered to true up the outside yet. So before we started, and last week I had these lights on. I'll turn it upside down so it doesn't blind you. But magnetic through a transformer. One or two of you ask. Looks like there's only 5 now, but I thought there was 6 at one time. Little LEDs in the back to give you a very bright light. Being magnetic, they stick underneath onto them. Yeah, there should be 6, so there's 1 gone out on the other one. These are readily available because if I turn that off, I can't easily see what I've got down there. It looks a lot brighter on the camera, but I can't see what I'm working at. But with that light on, I've just got enough light. Keep it below the top of the tool rest. They're magnetic, so if it does get knocked off with a shave, and it's not an issue. These are from, like we said last week, Wood Art products. The Y piece that I've got joining these two together and one light, when I bought it, was £16.50. I don't know what it is now, but it's woodartproducts.co.uk. I think Brian can put a link in because we were talking about it earlier on. An ideal thing for this sort of turning, or if you're doing a bit of hollow form work, you can actually get that on the tool rest and see into the hollow form that you're trying to turn. So it was Nick Agar's mate is the instigator to this.
There's a link to their website in the chat now, guys.
I can thoroughly recommend them.
And Colin from Wood Wizardry says he got a similar thing designed for a sewing machine from £5 from eBay. So have a look, guys. It's always worth checking out various different places, but it depends on the quality.
Yeah, did that have LEDs or was that a pygmy lamp? So normally most sewing machines are the little 10 or 15 watt pygmy lamps.
James Cassidy's just said they're going up now, £25 in price now. No surprise.
Oh, I did say I bought it a few years ago.
Yeah, nothing comes down in price, guys. Nothing comes down.
No.
Yep, Adam just confirmed that 25 plus post and packaging. And Colin has said yes, this is a little LED strip light.
Well, there are. You can buy. Sorry, I keep wandering off, guys, but I've got half of my workshops down the other end of the workshop. Which one is it? It's not that one. It's not that one.
I think he means to say half his tools are at the end of the workshop, guys.
Yeah, they are as well.
Workshop.
Yeah, well, I've got a long workshop, so it is half a workshop for me.
Stop showing off
me. Just got to unearth it. I don't want to break it, but this is another little light. Does it work on this one? It should do. It's a different size plug. Wouldn't you believe it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Let's put that back on. This one is a repeater light for vans and trailers. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LEDs on there. I've screwed it on the work side of a tool rest. So that tool rest fits in my small lathe. So I can do exactly the same, light up the back through that. All I did was put a plug on it. I've got many of those 12-volt adapters. So it's only 12 volt. You don't want mains voltage there, because if you get a catch, you can have a few sparks flying. That's quite a good idea. They're not that expensive. Nothing's that expensive if you want it, and it's going to make life easy. I'm all for one making life easy. Back to the job in hand. Need to just get this a little bit thinner. But with that light there, I can see what I'm doing. You know this is hard when it's coming off hot, which is what this is doing.
It's all gone quiet in the chat over there.
Yeah, we're currently at about 600 revs because of the shape of it and the size of it.
And we have 54 watching.
Well done, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, I'm universal. I can talk and turn most of the time. Just want to get rid of some whiskers, so a bit of 80 paper on there.
Are you trying to say that a man can multitask?
No, but I can. I'm fairly universal. Right, I'm feeling where the back is for where the front needs to be. Seeing as this is so big, it's about right in diameter. I want to try and pull that back before I go any further. So the rain, that's not going to work very well. Bit too low. So negative rake scraper, just to level this up a fraction.
That's a good idea, Colin, from Wood Wizardry. He's saying he has his light has an adhesive 10 light strip, but
Right.
he's glued a couple of magnets to it. I bought a whole batch of those rare earth magnets for making like fridge magnets. I can nearly talk today. So they're not very expensive either. You could easily glue them on and make your own.
Yeah, this is flexing so much. Let's see if I can get one more cut in the middle there. Just true that upper fraction. It's not the best cut. See what that's like.
James Cassidy's got to go. Dinner is being served.
Part
Enjoy your
timer
dinner,
tonight.
James.
Yeah, enjoy it, James. Thanks for coming in.
And we have a question from Douglas Murnham. Keith, when turning something that size, do you have to alter the speed for cutting the outside edge compared to the centre?
No, I set the speed that I want and I'm comfortable with at the outside edge. And as I've proved over the past few weeks on our Thursday evening get-togethers, you don't need a massive amount of speed to turn wood. And what you do need is sharp tools.
I kind of proved that myself today when I was turning, because I actually forgot to turn the lathe up. I started off at 400 and I turned the outside of the bowl at 400 revs. It's only when I went to do a finishing cut I thought, this is going pretty slow. So I turned it up a little bit for the finishing cut, and it worked a little bit better. But you don't need speed. Mike Walt proved that as well in a video. He turned something at a ridiculously slow speed, but it just means your tool presentation has to be all the better, and the tool speed has to be slow.
If you're turning at a very fast speed, that's good if you've got bits missing.
Yeah.
Because the time between the wood and the gap reduces.
Yeah, so the less time your cutter in mid-air, basically.
Yeah. This is right on the two ends at end grain that I've got a really crappy finish there. So I think that's going to be a bit sanding on that.
Yep,
I'm going to do
a little bit of the 80 grit gouge might help.
Yeah, the fully adjustable multi-purpose gouge.
So Benjamin says that he finds that speed helps with scrapers.
Yes and no. It does on carbide, but not necessarily on HSS.
It would probably depend on the type and how wet the wood is, how dry the wood is. There's a lot of variables in there, I think, as well, you know. Sometimes it's just a case of trial and error, basically. You can take the best advice, but sometimes you might just have to stick the tool on there and see what happens. Keeping safety in mind, always.
The problem I've got on this, being that it's now 11.25 inch diameter, is the flex on it.
Yep.
It's flexing. Oh, that's better now.
So how thick is it now?
A little bit. It's probably 3/4 of an inch.
Yep.
I've taken a bit off the back to get it into the round. So it's going to be a bit like a flying saucer. Just a little bit more sanding while I've got the strength in the middle to stop it flexing. I'm not pressing hard. I'm letting the paper do the work. I'm keeping it moving, but the paper's doing the work, not me leaning against it and generating heat. It's another false economy that a lot of beginner turners use, is to put too much pressure on it, generate the heat, and wonder why they've got a shake appear. Ash shouldn't be too bad. That's better. There's still a little bit of mark there though. No, ash shouldn't be too bad, but you've got to be exceptionally careful on yew, because yew doesn't like heat. this awkward piece of sanding is right on the knot, which is why it didn't want to play ball.
Yeah, knot pieces can be extremely hard.
We're just bouncing over it.
Of course, the grain's in a different orientation as well when it's coming from a knot.
So I'm happy with that now. That's better. That's better. I'm just going to run it round. This is probably one of those pieces that you couldn't easily hand sand.
I don't find any piece easy to hand sand.
No,
I absolutely hate hand sanding. I spent hours sandpanding those flowers.
Sanding, that would be good.
Yep.
Right.
So I spent hours sanding those flowers I made.
Now I've got this into the round, I can take the faceplate ring off. This was only held on by inch screws, inch eighths. So another reason I needed to be careful.
Yeah, Lawrence is asking a question. For softwoods such as pine, etc., would that require a higher speed than hardwood?
No. A sharp tool.
I'm not sure if you're referring to cutting or sanding there, Lawrence. I'm assuming it's cutting.
You wouldn't want to sand anything at a high speed.
Nope.
Because the paper needs to cut rather than just run itself over there and polish it, which is all it would do if you're running it at too fast a speed. Right. Turn that down a fraction so I can go back up again. That's true. I can only go in about half an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nibble this away rather than do it in one foul swoop. I want to leave as much meat in the middle as I can. I'm doing it in small steps. Go down a bit more. And it's all about tool presentation. Let the tool do the cutting. Don't force it to cut. Get one more cut out of that. Creep it in another 3/4 of an inch.
Gerard has a question, Keith.
Go on.
What's your preference, sandpaper or Abranet sheets?
I've used both, and I must admit my preference is the sheets.
And Lawrence Bugia has asked again, I was asking for cutting, but for sanding, what speed do you recommend?
If I'm cutting at, let's put it into round figures. If I'm cutting at 1,000, and this bit wouldn't take it, but if I'm cutting at 1,000, I would sand at 700 max, depending on the woods. Some woods you can up the speed a fraction or keep it the same, but it's all down to the abrasive, the nature of the abrasive. And if you think about it, the abrasive is multiple bits of sand, for argument's sake, glass, whatever, stuck onto a bit of paper, and the bit of paper is on a Velcro backing. So if that doesn't get chance to cut, you're just generating heat in the wood or in the paper. You're polishing it rather than sanding it. It's better to reduce the speed to sand. Not essential, but it's better. If you watch Wayne, quite often he will sand at the same speed as he does the turning. So I'm going to carry right on through, a push cut all the way through. I've got more control on the push cut. I'm in the driving seat. If I was to start now on a pull cut, it would be like trying to park the car with blinkers on. And there's a lot of people that can't work in reverse. So much the same sort of thought process. If I can see where I'm going, I can adjust my cut accordingly. And that one's not blunt, but it's about time for a change. That's the wrong grind. Go over onto a different chisel, and they're all the same angle of grind. It's just a matter of finding a sharp one. That's a sharp one. And I can come back in, pick up the cut. It's actually bouncing on the grain. Right through the middle I'm going. Driving it right through the middle. There's more time and effort involved in something thin and delicate, not quite delicate shall we say, but thin-walled, thin base than there is in a bowl where you've got the strength from the walls. Now I feel like I've got a lump just there. Whether I can get that out with the scraper in a minute, we'll find out. See what will happen. Round scraper, bring the tool rest up so that we're above centre.
Mike Q has just said, I hope you don't mean right through the middle. No, he would have to say that's an SKF if he was going through the middle.
Yeah, that's to let the gravy out. And this is for French fancies, not gravy. It's a very soft cut. You can actually see where the wood is high because it's bouncing off the cutting edge. Don't know.
So lot.
You probably can't hear it, but I can hear it.
Yeah. So Lawrence is thanking you for your reply to the questions. We're only too Keith and myself are only too happy to for me to relay the questions to Keith, and Keith just loves to answer questions, Lawrence. So if you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask.
Like I say, I can talk and work. I can answer questions.
Whatever you do, don't think it's a stupid question, because there is no such thing.
The stupid question is the one you don't ask. So it didn't need a lot. And these shavings are, well, they're foul. Just got a little pimple in the middle there. So it's literally the weight of the tool against the wood. Like I say, it was freshly sharpened tonight because I knew I'd end up with a little bit of an issue. As it was so thin. So I thought, give myself a fighting chance. I'm not a scraper user, but let's refine that quite well. Yeah, quite happy with that. So one last little trick before put the tools back before they fall on the floor. It's going to be this one.
So, so on another subject, guys, if any of you are interested in this or not, I don't know. If you are aware that NASA have sent a new rover to Mars, and it has just landed on Mars successfully.
So Cadbury's are pleased then.
Yep, I would think. They get a resupply.
Yeah. Right. I will show you what I've just used. It's an old posi drive screwdriver that I've made into a point tool, definition tool. It was no good as a screwdriver. Bloody brilliant for what I've just done. And just to give this a little bit of definition.
I take it that's a Formica sample you have there.
Yeah, this is Formica. It stinks to heaven, but
yeah, it makes a really good burning tool.
Yeah, it's solid enough and thin enough to make a decent scorch line on there. I'll put that back where I remember where it is. I should want that tomorrow. I've got a commission to sort out. Right, so drop the speed back. Not a bad bit of paper still, but if you... I've got 3-inch discs and I cut my paper 3 1/8 or 3 1/4 square. So what I can do is then realign it so that I've got a different cutting edge, because it always cuts around the outside. So I can move that 1/8 of an inch and you've got another cutting edge then.
Oh, Jared the French Turner has just suggested you could use an old credit card as a burning tool. Will it not melt, Jared?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that's a good idea, Gerard. I've not tried it, so you may well be right. But they're generally plastic.
I suppose it depends on the type of plastic.
Yeah, the only thing that they're good for is scraping ice off of windscreens.
Or spending money at your local tool shop.
Yeah, or spending your wife spending your money for you.
So Douglas has just commented that the Mars rover that's just landed has cost $2 billion to send up there. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
So you can see the dust coming off just by moving that. It's not me being mean. It's just me thinking about where it needs to cut. It's the end grain is the issue. Quite a nice bit of grain though. Let's go down one grit. Go down to 120. That was 80. That's 240.
Yeah, Steve Joggins just
120.
commented there. He says, "I can't believe Rover built something that made it to his destination without breaking down." Rover used to build good cars now, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that tongue in cheek there.
All right, quite happy with that.
It all went very
Sand.
quiet there. I thought something had broken down there. It's just a little bit more high tech than our Maestro, Douglas. You're showing your age now, Douglas.
Rover 90.
That was a reasonable car, I have to say.
That's what the pigs use, isn't it? Or used to use.
Yep, they did indeed.
Yeah, because it
If you
was
mean-
fairly
if you-
reliable and built like a tank. Wouldn't want to fill it up too many times this now. Not now, it's
Yeah, no.
130 a gallon, is it?
Don't know. Since we've had lockdown, I've
Yeah.
only filled my car about once every 3 months.
Yeah. I used to get four gallons to the pound soon after I started driving.
Yep, I remember when it was cheap too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sorry, Gerard. I kind of misread Gerard's comment there about the credit card. He was asking, could you use a credit card? Now, the answer is no, it's not a good idea. It's plastic.
I don't think so either.
No.
I'm not going to say you can't, but I think
I wouldn't
you'd end
even.
up with plastic melt on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't entertain using a credit card.
Right.
You could pick up Formica from most kitchen showrooms, that kind of places, because they would have like sample packs.
Whereabouts
So
are you? Who was that question? Gerard, was it?
That's Gerard. He's in Cork,
He's in
or
Cork.
close to Cork.
Builders merchants, painters merchants, painters
Yeah.
decorators. They're the ones for going in and saying, "Have you got the old samples that you used to have?" They've usually tossed them underneath. Question: do you want me to stain the middle or leave it au naturel?
Good question. Why not stain the outside edge and leave the...
Only because I've got a natural barrier there.
Yep, that would
with
stop
the
it.
burn. It could bleed over.
Yeah, it probably could.
So I'm easy.
Stain it. Stain it. Yes, says Gerard.
Right.
Go for it. Get the stain out. Oh, Chris is spinning. Oh, wait a minute. That's 3-1 now. Chris from Spinning Wood Dodger says, au natural. That's my terrible French accent, by the way, Jared. Sorry.
Right, you've seen the point tool that I've made, so I can put that back. Just an old screwdriver that was no good for anything. So just ground it to a triangular point. That's a good definition tool for anything like this.
Yeah. As long as it's kind of reasonably quality steel and not a lot of skinny thing that'll bend as soon as you touch the wood with it.
Well, theoretically, you'll be fairly close to the wood anyway. So
Yep.
they've got 6-7 mil shanks. So what are we turning it? So Terry said no. Doug said colour. Barry said fire. Well, you can piss off because it could be fire.
No,
Gerard
Barney, Barry.
Andy says stain it. Why? And Andrew says stain it.
I think we're
Right, okay,
5 to 2.
Right, we're going to stain it. You've got blue. You've got purple.
Very
You've
good,
got
Gerald.
red.
Purple.
You've got orange.
Right, come on,
You've
everyone in the
got
chat.
yellow.
Let's have purple. Come on. Pat Cummings wants colour. Jared the French Turner
Right,
says yellow.
It's going to be colour, so you've now got the choice to what colour you want. You can see them down here. Blue, purple, red, orange, yellow.
The Lincoln agrees with me. Purple.
I knew she would. That's what she left in the bedroom when she buggered off.
Andy H is saying purple. Come on, guys, let's have a go at purple. Come on. Yep, Doug Miller, purple. Wavy Woodshed says red. Go on, Lizard, purple.
It's purple. I'll put the rest away.
Good. Excellent. I love purple. It's a really rich and regal colour.
I
No,
acquired.
Jared, not yellow.
No, I acquired some loo roll. This is commercial loo roll that comes in the wall hung canisters. It's too long to use as is, so I fold it in half, tear it,
What is your miserable?
and much the same as I use it for CA, I make 12 layers. Fold a third, fold it on the second third, fold it in half, 6, fold it in half again.
12.
And that gives me still some on the finger. So we're definitely purple.
And the maximum number you can fold any piece of paper is? Question to the chat.
About 4 dozen, isn't it?
Ooh, nothing like that. So repeat the question to the chat. What's the maximum number of times you could fold any piece of paper? Wavy Woodshed says 7.
Well, I just folded it 12.
No, you didn't. You've got 12 layers, but you didn't fold it 12 times.
No. Where you don't sneeze on that outside edge.
Lincoln says 7 as well. Everybody agrees. Oh, Barry says 1. Yeah, that's as soon as you set it on fire, Barry. You can only fold it the once. Andy H for turning says 8.
So I must be doing something right with still got 36 in here, and I'm in 2 hours.
No, you're now at 10 past 9. So
yeah, thanks, guys.
Here's the answer to the question, guys. In January 2002, whilst in junior high school, Gallivan demonstrated that a single piece of toilet paper, 4,000 feet, 1,200 meters in length, can be folded in half 12 times. This was contrary to popular conception that a maximum number of times a piece of paper can be folded in half was 7. But mind you used a huge piece of paper. So I would have said 7 too, everybody. But that's what Wikipedia says, okay?
Okay. Right, just give that
Too
a few
late to be
seconds
brainy,
to
says
dry.
Jeff.
Yeah, just give that a
I'm
few
not brainy
seconds to
either,
dry.
but Wikipedia is wonderful, as is Google.
Rattle can. I'm going to spray this with cellulose sanding sealer,
Oh,
I think.
of course, that was a dye
Yeah.
you put on. That's why I was.
Yeah, I don't think I've got acrylic.
I never understood the difference. Why? What's the difference? Or why would you use acrylic as
Well, a
opposed to
spirit,
cellulose?
yeah, a spirit loosens the spirit, but a spirit doesn't loosen water-based.
Right.
So generally, you would use water, which is what melamine is, on a spirit and a spirit on a water-based. Well, I haven't got any, so it's going to be this. So it's
Yep.
going to be a quick
Needs must. So
lick
Barry's
over
food
the
turning here
inside.
just said he still says one and then burn it. Barry likes to burn everything.
Yeah, he's just an arseholist.
Ooh,
I think that's right, isn't it? Or is it arsonist?
I think the word he was looking for is arsonist.
Ah, I always get that wrong. Right. Next Thursday, as far as I know, as far as I know, I won't be doing it because
Yay.
the boy is back.
Oh, very good.
Scott is back, as far as I know. If it becomes that it's an issue for him because of his depression, anxiety, and everything else, COPD, NYPD, you name it, he's
PTSD.
suffering it. Yeah, PTSD. If it becomes too much of an issue, he's going to let me know, and I will step in and fill Thursday night.
Okay.
I'm doing a Tuesday.
Tom
and my
Tango
good-
Parker's just arrived.
Oh God! What time do you call this, Tom?
I have no idea, Tom.
I don't think you dare stand in the corner. Go and stand in the middle of the room and start singing.
Welcome, Tom.
We've had a laugh, Tom. That's 2 light coats. See if I can get a third one on just to get a little bit of cover. Just running very slowly just to help it dry.
Andy H. for turning has just said, Keith, my computer is supposed to be here tomorrow.
Well done, Andy. Brian's is coming hopefully Monday.
Yep.
It's not the same place, I don't think. I don't know where Andy's is coming from. But I know he's had a big issue with the first one that he ordered.
Oh no! Don't be telling me that now.
It didn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Amazon. I don't think, Andy, was it? But he cancelled the first order and he's ordered another one. Before I had a chance to say that I can point him in the direction that Dale pointed me.
Yep.
For the one I've got in here, which is what Brian's ordered. And
say that quietly. My wife doesn't know yet.
Good job. It's only less than £200 then, isn't it?
Good job, right?
I'm happy with that. So we can put the lid back on that.
Tom Tango Parker's excuse for being late is family stuff. Well, that's okay, Tom. We all have these problems.
I'm not going to Yorkshire grit this, I don't think. I'm just going to go over it with a bit of Weebrax. Just to lightly denib it. And that's equivalent to 1600. There's many out there, but that is Weebrax. It's what we get or got and sold at Club. Acrylic gloss lacquer. Again, not too fast. It's going to be 2 or 3 light coats. Now I've sealed it, it shouldn't run. We let that go, let that dry off. And seeing that it's acrylic, it should dry relatively quickly. I'm still surprised there's 36 of you out there. But thank you guys. You obviously appreciate what I'm showing you. And he's got it from Woucher, by the looks of it, his computer. But if you, rather than struggle on setting it up, I've got a Zoom meeting tomorrow morning, but I'm free from 11ish onwards. If you want to talk it through, Andy, I'm quite happy. Like I said before, I'm not a computer buff, but I've got mine set up. I've had the help of Dale to set it up, so I think we can probably get it to go in. At least get the not got it from Woucher. That was the first one. Oh right, me misunderstanding that. Well, Woucher was the one that you don't want to order computers from then, because they've got a tendency not to send them. Still a little bit damp, sticky.
There we go. I went to Amazon Direct, Andy, because it's not Amazon that do the refurbished computers, but they guarantee them for a year. So that's why I went through Amazon, and plus you get free delivery.
And if you're mainland, it's next day.
Yeah. I have to say that because I'm a Prime member in Amazon, I get lots of things next day, but realistically, it's 2 or 3 days to get across here.
Yeah, I think the computers are, because they're sent out from whoever supplies them.
Yeah, that's correct.
Not through Amazon themselves, but Amazon will guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. So Gerard, the French turner, is saying he's having a big day tomorrow. Part 2, I assume he's trying to say, of inside turning for the WT360 challenge for this month.
Right.
If it does not work out, I'm can't really say that word, Gerard, or the word you're thinking about. Yeah, the challenge for the WT360 club this month is a bit strange.
Right.
It's what is it called? Activism or something.
Okay.
Strange thing. I haven't even thought about it yet. And we're nearly at the end of the month.
Oh, well done, Andy. His nephew's a computer buff and got the spec for the one he ordered. Good. Like
Good
I say,
job.
the offer's there if you're stuck and your nephew's not available. We can save the anguish.
So Gerard, the French turner, has just clarified that it's called craftyism or something. I still don't understand.
Crafty viz me.
But you can look that up, craftyism.
Right.
It's, it's craftyism. It's like craft people who are using their craft in an activism kind of role. So if you've got a cause that you want to be active in, if you like, they're using their craft towards that. It's a strange thing, but it's all over the internet now, and there are lots of people doing it.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of it, but I haven't sort of gone any further than seeing quite a bit of it.
Yeah, it's usually for good causes, and it's all done in a friendly kind of way. It's not No, activism is, as some people would know it people protesting and stuff. It's not that kind of activism.
Right.
It's
Well,
friendly activism.
that is a really pretty piece of wood.
It is indeed. And the purple in the centre has certainly highlighted the grain.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't want to take too much back of it. So if I go to camera 6, if I can...
Camera 6? Have you 6 cameras, or did you just number them randomly?
No, I've got 6 cameras.
Oh
But
my God.
I've got
But I
2
was
lathes
mad.
set up. Yeah, I've got 2 lathes set
Oh,
up.
so you have, of course. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought
Doesn't
I was
show it
bad
any
before.
better, does it? Yeah, it doesn't show it any better.
No, it doesn't really. That's because your head on your lathes tilted out.
2. Let's go back to 2.
Sure, you'll be taking it off in a minute anyway.
Yeah, I was just seeing if it did show up.
That's actually quite a good picture there, so we can
Are
see
you
it.
getting flickers across the middle of it?
There's a tiny little bit of flicker there, yep.
Yeah.
Just along the bed here, it's along the lathe bed. I
Right.
can see a little flicker.
But that's because I've got LED lights, and there's nothing I can do about that, guys.
On some cameras you can set them to 50 hertz or 60 hertz.
Yeah, these are just cheapies.
Are the webcams?
Yeah.
If you go into through OBS.
No, that's too technical. I'm just straight into the computer, straight into USB.
All right.
Which is why it takes me a bit of time to change it over.
All right. Okay. But you can't set them, because some of them come set for 60 hertz, which is the American system,
right?
And some European countries,
right?
Whereas our electricity comes at 50 hertz.
Yeah, I think these are 50 from the spec that I ordered them on. Okay. So it looks like Gerard's in jail doing his. He's doing it from a cell, within a cell. So he's in a padded cell then. I think that's what he's trying. I think that's what he's trying to tell us. That he's a bit of a case, and he's in a padded cell. Or am I reading that wrong, Gerard?
I think you are a bit.
Ah, heck. Well, if nothing else, we've had a bit of a laugh tonight, guys.
That's a very good cause, Gerard. Well done, you, mate.
Yes.
In need of the hospital children's ward and the cancer fundraising.
Just leave that another few minutes. It's still just a little bit sticky.
He says he's going to give the piece to the local radio station that organises it for an auction. Very good, Gerard.
And he's saying if I go into the app.
So, Tom Tango Parker is asking what sort of cameras are you used for streaming, Keith?
These are Ted Baker. Yeah, basically Ted Baker's, which is what Dale suggested I get. Anywhere between £20 and £27 each, which isn't too expensive for something that you're not quite sure what you want to do. I was looking at putting the DVLR through it, DVSLR, whatever they call it.
DSLR.
Yeah, DSLR. My Canon through it, but I'm getting contradicting views as to what it will do, and it's got me lost in the technical jargon of the Canon page at the moment. So I'm waiting for someone to come along that can tell me what we should be able to do and should be able to get through them.
I certainly can't help you with that because I just have webcams.
Yeah.
As Chris, the Spinning Wood Dodger, says, another excellent demonstration and explanations, Keith. Thank you for your time, and Brian. Bye all. Bye, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it, so that you guys can hopefully learn something off of the way I do it. I'm not saying the way I do it is the correct way. I'm saying the way that I do it is a safe way, and I'm trying to give you safe information not to say put a lump of wood on like I've done with the very minimal mortise on the back, and turn it up to 2,800 revs maximum that this goes, and see how far you can get it across the workshop.
I remember
I'm
Ed Oliver did that in a demo once.
Yeah, I'm looking at you guys coming back and say, well, I've seen Keith do it this way. I'm going to have a go at it myself. But he only ran it at 600. I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and go a little bit lower to start with.
I always start the lathe off. When I first put something on, I always start it off as slow as the lathe will go, which is, in my case, 500.
Yeah, well, this one goes down to two revs. It's so that you've got to turn it off by the button. You can't turn the volume down. So that's the maximum. That goes at that. That'll sit at that all day. But it's not a good idea on a three-phase motor to do that, because the motor starts to get hot. It's warm, but it's not hot.
So Barry says, brilliant, Keith. The burning was a joke. Yeah, we kind of know that.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, I know
Cheers,
that.
Cheers,
But we're going to have a laugh, aren't we? We're in tough times. We all want to try and get through this as quick as we can, as safe as we can, and as early as we can. But until such times as we're out the other side, we've got to sort of stick together and have a bit of a laugh. And I've found I've always enjoyed demonstrating. I demonstrate down at the museum.
Nice comment there from Gerard as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had to admit purple is the right colour.
Yeah, that's where I demonstrate, and I can sail down there. Andy gets down there as well, but in a different department. We enjoy it down there. We see the public. We can have a chat with the public. We can have a little bit of a punt at times. Andy's off. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. I might speak to you tomorrow. For all you guys that have... Oh, it's all right. It's only it's management wondering where I've got to.
Oh, management.
Yeah. Well, I said I'd be in about 9 o'clock at the latest, and it's now past.
It's the management.
Yeah. She's given up. Right, that can come off now.
Well, I've lost something now.
Right. So,
StreamYard.
There we are, guys. And you can see the thickness.
We've still got 36 people watching. Yeah, crazy.
So that was a really scabby old bit of wood to start with, well out of true. What I'll do is I'll let that cure and give it a couple more coats, and I'll get a picture up on Facebook. But that's the end of tonight's demonstration, guys.
Nice comment from Pat Cumming. I'll read it out so you don't have to embarrass yourself. Wonderful demonstration, Keith. You're a great instructor.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of telling people how I do things. Like I say, it's not necessarily the approved and the correct way. As far as I'm concerned, it's a safe way of doing it. And it stood me in good stead for the 30 odd years that I've been turning. So
thank you, Chris.
If I can pass on a few instructions like this, that's good for me. So I'm going to now, I can see Brian's fully dressed still, bring him back into the picture.
I might just change that.
Bring him back into the picture. So
lots of lovely comments coming in there, Keith. Very nice from Chris Dodds, Ian Leonard, another good demo. Thanks, Keith and Brian. Colin is very nice again. Learned something every time. Thank you.
I can't be bothered to go back onto that. So there's the finished article, and there's Brian. So we're all going in. I need a beer or at least a coffee, because I'm getting a bit hoarse now. So thanks, guys. I'm in Tuesday lunchtime. Scott's in next Thursday evening.
Yep.
So come along and support him. He needs the support. He's getting through his problems. So come along and support him. I
Tell him
might
to
well
take,
be earworming for him.
tell Scott to take care.
Yeah. I'm on fairly regular contact with him.
Yeah, I know you are.
But,
That's why I'm saying.
yeah, thanks then. Right, I'm going to hit the off button, guys, end the broadcast. 'Cause it's,
All right, Keith. Right, guys. Thank you
so
very
I'll
much. Talk to you
see
again.
you all next week. Thank you very
See
much
you,
for
see
sticking
you
with us.
Tuesday. See you
Yep.
Tuesday.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.